two brings for us.
Yeah, you don't have to worry about not seeing Bruce though, because there's a lot of Bruce players here.
Yeah.
People came from New York, people came from Baltimore, people came from New Jersey.
Virginia Beach.
Yeah, and it's Bruce players from the like Superstars community has so many Bruce players. Brent actually told me himself last week. He's like, yeah, no, we've got like so many Bruce players.
That's the popular deck right now.
I mean, it's the best deck. Like,
I can agree with that.
there's not really anything that is as good as it. Like, closest thing is Bastion and Nirvana, but
I mean, yeah, maybe Bastion. I mean, we've seen the popularity of Bastion go lower, at least in some areas. You know, it's one of those things. Bastion plays with an illusion. They're like, hey, how many cards do you have in hand? 7. I was like, oh, okay, you have no cards in hand.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, oh, okay, gotcha. You have no cards in hand because you have a bunch of grade 3s. So we'll see how if any Bastions kind of show up here.
yeah, especially because Bastion's got a terrible matchup against Bruce.
Bastion has a lot of terrible matchups against a lot of things early on that can kind of put that early aggression.
Yeah, but it's not even just that. It's Bastion sort of needs a column in order to get its like real threat. Otherwise, everything's just 15, 15, 15, 25.
Yeah, before the Persona ride. Obviously, with the Persona ride, it gets stronger if it's able to get the extra drive checks. So a lot of things will go right for Bastion. I still think it's a very, very solid deck to bring in. Don't get me wrong. But let's say, for example, you're playing against Orphis, right? They get their token on grade 2.
Yeah.
And then you're swinging with 15 on your 10K. And then on top of that, if they have the AK that gives it plus another 15 and you draw a card after, you're taking that damage.
Yeah.
So it really depends. Going first obviously matters for a lot of decks here. So we'll see if that kind of swings everybody in any location. Brent came out huge going second, obviously with the draws for Zorga, but that doesn't happen for everyone there.
Yeah, it's definitely one of those decks that like going second you don't mind with Zorga because it's like you get what is it you go to 6 7 8 back to 7 and then 8 again off the drive check, so you're at an 8 card hand at the end of your turn 1, which is like first up fantastic for blocking, second it's fantastic just for options.
It's just fantastic to have more cards in it. Like, let's not lie to the let's not lie to the viewers. You want card advantage.
Yeah,
that's all it is.
Yeah, name of the game.
So we will also want to thank Guild Gaming, where we're at right now, for hosting us. For those joining us, we are on Legacy Cup, Overdressed Standard. We are going to go into round 2. We just finished round 1, so it's still very early on to see kind of who's creeping up, who's creeping down. Got a lot of names here that are familiar. We have Sarah Michelle. If you don't know, probably topped a bunch of team leagues and single events, went to Worlds, as I believe as well. Same thing with Leo Dong, also went to Worlds with when we were in V Standard. So a lot of big players here, which is surprising. Julia Romero as well, team leagues, did a lot of things there. So we got a good amount of players here. Mustafa Lambros also top 8 in Premium and V as well back in the day. So a lot of good amount of players coming out. I mean, I didn't expect 32, not gonna lie to you, especially with we just announced, pushed it on Facebook only. So I'm really happy with the turnout here with being 30.
Good amount. Like Christian was expecting like 20 something.
Yeah,
and we're in the 30s.
20 at most, maybe 20 at most, as I was expecting. We hit the 30s, so it's a good number. It's gonna be a good day.
Quite literally the cap for 5 rounds.
One more person would have been 6 rounds, and then we would have maybe get home at 2 a.m. Whatever,
Yeah, I recognize quite a few of these names.
Yeah, a lot of staples on at least between the Virginia community and some of the New York community. So it's good to see that people are still playing through all these years. Like, no regionals anymore, but maybe